Hello friends, welcome back to my channel, and it's Fitz-Wayne, the sage horse. So today what I want to explain to you is the nakshatra of the Purva Bhadrapada. And this nakshatra moves from Aquarius into Pisces. This personally for me, it's one of the most scariest nakshatras that you can ever deal with in your chart, or whenever you have that energy, like whenever you're dealing with that energy, because this nakshatra is about spiritual energy. It's about spiritual fire, enough spiritual fire for you to conquer someone, conquer your enemies, or have that which you seek, so while as other nakshatras from after Megashira, from Megashira up to this nakshatra, it's all about seeking something, while this nakshatra is the one that gives you everything through spiritual energy. So it's a heavy nakshatra to deal with. It's a heavy placement in the nakshatra, and like I said, for me it's a very scary. So let's dive into it.
Wait, you've got to give them the key to everything that's yours. Otherwise, what's the point? And for a while, I believed that's the kind of love I had.
So Purva Bhadrapada, like I said, this is an nakshatra that moves from Aquarius into Pisces. So it deals heavily with mercy, themes of mercy, there's themes of rituals, there's themes of occultism, there's themes of there's themes of wealth, but wealth in the sense of expansion, where you expand rapidly and where you expand almost to the point that there is no limit. And it's a placement where you can have too much of everything, basically. So Purva Bhadrapada it's a point where you want to enter into the adventure which the soul seeks to be fulfilled, but you enter into uncharted territories, you enter into the mystics, you enter into the desert, you enter into a world of boundless imaginations, uncharted territories. So it's a point where there is no restrictions, like all restrictions are removed and all the gains are yours. You are faced with a lot of accumulation, a lot of accumulation, but it's like accumulation in the physical, but it's accumulation that started first in the cosmic, or in the spiritual side, so to speak. So yeah, it's a fascinating nakshatra, but it's a nakshatra where there's only expansion and no outside limitations or inside limitations or inner limitations that you put for yourself, as compared to the following nakshatras. The following nakshatra, which is Uttara Bhadrapada, where you have inner limitations, where you have inner limitations to restrict how much you can handle, how much accumulation you can handle. So in this nakshatra of the Purva Bhadrapada, it's just vast accumulations, and there's a poem for it. I forgot the poem and actually did it at school when I was in high school there. This nakshatra deals with it's a nakshatra that deals with moving from the desert, and of course moving from the desert to actually running Las Vegas, or owning Las Vegas, you know, owning a multi-millionaire dollar company or something.
Where lots of the town's problems are solved.
And a lot of holes in the desert, and a lot of problems are buried in those holes. Except you got to do it right. I mean, you got to have the hole already dug before you show up with a package in the trunk. Otherwise, you're talking about half hour or 45 minutes to dig it. And who knows who's going to be coming along in that time. Before you know it, you got to dig a few more holes. You could be there all fucking night.
Yeah, something along those lines. And basically having wealth, like having too much wealth, and not just monetarily wealth, any kind of form of wealth, whether family, friends, extended family, where you have almost too much support, or enough, or almost like a lot of support for you, you know, because it's a point where the soul has a small chance of being saved because of so much expansion. The movie Casino actually explains Bhadrapada. The movie Casino, and the setting in the movie is what's this guy? Sorry, Robert De Niro, because he also has Bhadrapada in his chart. And this movie, please watch this movie for further details, because this movie explains a lot about the Bhadrapada. So it's like a thief, but it's a thief in the law, you know, like a thief in law, basically, because they say, if you know the rules so well, you are able to break them. So it's that kind of nakshatra. So that's why personally it's a very, very heavy nakshatra for me. But yes, please watch the movie Casino. I'm going to show some of the examples about what actually happens in the Bhadrapada stage. There's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of gangs, there's a lot of there's themes of your past life catching up with you so heavily that it causes death in the process, you know. So in the movie, Robert De Niro has particular skills, and he's involved with like people who are in power, you know, old standing people that were in power, and he has particular skills, and he's able to bring them wealth, and he's able to bring them wealth to the point that even after facing hiccups and facing like challenges, he still bounces back and actually becomes more wealthy than before, and he's able to support the people that support him. He's able to send money, he's able to support different kinds of people through the money that he accumulates. But he accumulates that money through being a thief. He accumulates that money through occultism. So please watch the movie. I'll show some of the examples there in the screen. So this nakshatra Bhadrapada has a strong connection with the previous nakshatra before, which is Shadabhishek. And Shadabhishek is in the middle of Aquarius, and Shadabahishek deals with restrictions. So Shadabahishek is known to be the height of illusion, you know, the illusion of restrictions. So say for example, when you enter like a company, there's already restrictions, you know, there are things you can do, the things you cannot do, there's codes of conduct on how to carry yourself when you come to work, and so Purva that's Shadabahishek. So Purva Bhadrapada is then when you remove those restrictions, you know. Yeah, so these individuals, personally in my community, have an exotic history about them, or an exotic foundation, like in the background, and are known for having occultism as being part of their life so strongly. So you can hear about stories that maybe they grew up in a very tough environment, but there's a lot of occultism that happened in between, you know, that then gives them the karma to be, well then gives them the spiritual fire for them to move on to the next life, and have and accumulate wealth and accumulate stability and all of those things. So this is also the point where we check your SWOT analysis, basically an analysis of you about what are your strengths, what are your weaknesses, and what are your opportunities, and what are your threats. So because at this point, your personal analysis, because at this point you need these four to actually move on. It's almost all about these four, you know. It's no longer about the interaction with your family, the interaction with you know, your boss, or it's not like the normal day-to-day thing. It's more like about you, your personal you, about what you can achieve, what you can bring not only to the table but to a huge or to a group of community, or to it's just expansion. Basically it's just expansion. So it's your SWOT and your personal SWOT analysis against another, or against an enemy, against any boundaries you have, any obstacles you have, because it's all about having that spiritual energy to remove those boundaries. So there's a vast expansion that happens in this stage. So in the analysis, as your strength, these people have a lot of expansion, which seems good, but expansion to a certain point then becomes a threat to your soul. So that's like almost like a double-edged sword, where the strength then becomes kind of your weakness, you know. So yeah, so these people can have also a very high profile. They can like make their name big. They can be well known to promote a certain lifestyle a lot, to and make their name big. They can be invited to a lot of talk shows, to but in a short space of time, and this is important, for a short space, like in a short space of time and for a short space of time. That's the thing about this nakshatra that personally bothers me a lot. But yeah, so as opportunity, these people can have a lot of money through connections, because they make like their names big, and they can have a very big high profile that attracts a lot of people, that attracts a lot of opportunities, a lot of business deals, a lot of contracts, a lot of, you know, but as threats, then some of those contracts then come to catch them and bite them, you know, because it's a placement of having what you want, having like expansion. Some contracts can be like death, almost like death making contracts, because it's about expansion, you know, it's about people, it's about gaining from friends, it's about gaining too much actually from friends, to the point that as the soul cannot handle it, and the soul has to keep like a balance, but it's a cosmic balance. It's not like a balance in the earthly realm, because that balance deals with the next nakshatras, which is Uttara Bhadrapada. That's where you achieve the balance. So it's a point where you have no outer restrictions and no inner restrictions for the accumulation that you are getting, you know. So very interesting nakshatra. For further information, please visit Clear Nakti. There's a video there about Purva Bhadrapada that she explains it all out. She explains what happens, everything. She explains why, like, how it is important to move from this nakshatras to where we are right now, and to what needs to happen next. And this is also a nakshatra that is associated with Jesus a lot, because Jesus was tempted in the desert. So there's a lot of themes about desert and about the soul's integrity faced at the desert, and being tempted with Satan. Satan saying that I'll give you what you want. What do you want? Like, just give up your soul, and I'll give you what you want. And it's Mephistos. Yes, that's Mephistos. Yeah, I think I got it right. That's Mephistos, which is another name for Satan, where he offers you everything to sell your soul. So yeah, so it's a very scary nakshatra for me personally. I hope you enjoyed this video. Catch you next time. It's the Sage Horse. Just to add up, this nakshatra is a placement where you need constant assertion, constant punishment from the cosmic, because the aim is to save your soul, because your soul is constantly expanding to the point that it threatens the cosmic balance. So you need constant punishment, constant assertion, and that can be in the form of fights that lead to death. It can be in the form of being ambushed. It can be in the form of you know, marriages, like marriage complications, and not understanding your partner, not yeah, it's a point basically that where the soul needs to survive, and like nothing else needs to survive. It's a soul. It's a point where the soul needs to survive, because it has accumulated a lot in the past life that it struggles to even handle that spiritual energy, you know. So it's like a soul in the middle of like all of this accumulation that it doesn't want to give back, but it needs to give back, because it needs some of that energy out so that it can be Sedwick, you know, which means like pure, clean, and the soul can then sort of like breathe, have an opportunity to breathe, you know. So that's what I wanted to add. So this nakshatra is different from Chaitra's nakshatra in the sense that Chaitra's nakshatra is about causing like spiritual energy to your partner, but like momentarily. Maybe for example, causing an existential crisis to your partner in order to change the energy or change the situation, you know. Whereas Bhadrapada is about having the complete spiritual energy to fight all obstacles, you know. Yes, all obstacles that you face in life, and obstacles, I mean enemies, anything basically that like prevents you from achieving that which you seek. So thanks for watching my channel. Please like and subscribe, and I'll keep posting. It's the Sage Horse.